Yes.
You know, it's interesting. The speaker was at UPSA yesterday.
Yeah, University of Ghana.
University
Yes.
of Ghana.
Sorry, University of Ghana, was it? Okay,
Yeah.
forgive me. And I find it fascinating. This is the very first time in our, in the fourth, in our history that we've had a hung parliament, right? And he's been the speaker during this time. It's a very, very unique position that he has, held. And he gives us a little bit of a glimpse behind the curtain of what it's taken for him to hold this position. Let's listen to him.
I venture to submit that the focus of the first brains behind the drafting of this constitution was to achieve political stability. If my guess is right, I must admit we have succeeded in doing just that at the expense of development. We now have to move on to focus on development. We have to transform everything. This constitution has many defects, and the time to fix those defects has been long overdue. Member of Parliament as a representative of the people or that of a party or president. And every morning, presiding over this hung parliament, I have to sit with the leaders every morning in my lobby, spending hours trying to get them to come closer to each other, to let us agree to disagree. It will not be military, it will be civil unrest. And when the people take over the power, which is already theirs, those of you who are in some class, you know where you will belong.
Super Morning Show.
Yeah. His thoughts on the Constitution, and makes that point about how he spent hours just trying to align because we have a hung parliament.
Yes, because at the core of it, I mean, many of the MPs feel that they represent their party's interest rather than the people who elected them, their interest. It is strange, but if the people want that change, they should vote for more independent people rather than partisan people into the Parliament of the Republic of Ghana. So if the Parliament was made up of people who were not obliged to act in the interest of any political party, they are more likely. And again, even that argument, Kujo, elsewhere, I know that there are 7 MPs in the UK Parliament today belonging to the government who are telling the government that your policies are terrible. They withdrew whip from them. They just still don't care. Every morning they tweet. This morning I'm still reminding you that you pledged to take care of poor people. Extend that particular service to the 3 million poor people children who will not get food to eat today.
Yeah.
I mean, they do it because they believe, and they'll reference. My people in Coventry South are insisting on this. But our people, the only time I heard them say my people was when they were trying to remove Oforiata. But
Yes.
even that conversation,
That one,
my people
suddenly,
ended within few days. My
as soon as
people,
the president intervened,
they
the
stopped
people
representing
no
the
longer
interest.
existed.
You see,
It's strange, and it's not. But I mean, Yaosako calls it the Father Christmas. Oh no, Santa Claus. What they call it? Democracy.
you see, the speaker is talking about, I sit down with them every day trying so hard so that we get things right. But why would we not face those problems? When today, political parties can actually, on WhatsApp, say, thank you for not betraying the cause.
Imagine.
That today, political parties tell members of parliament that if you vote against us, you'll be sanctioned. And because of that bad thing that Professor Ocquaye did,
Thank you.
when he sacked Esiama from parliament.
That thing set us back.
Yes, political parties think that they have control over members of parliament. I want somebody to test that law.
And you see,
because
it is Professor Michael Ocquaye,
yes, Michael
ever
Ocquaye.
distinguished in political science.
Oh.
The man who wrote in 2014, Parliament of Ghana, covered this.
He got
questioning
that one wrong.
Well,
he
I
got
don't
that
know.
one so
But for me,
terribly wrong.
This is my problem. So today, people want to be members of parliament. And the political parties are telling them that you cannot go against party position.
Yeah.
and,
what sort of a country
and
is this?
Parliament agrees.
The members there agree. The Speaker of Parliament should be bold enough to confront political parties that do these things.
When given the opportunity to rule on whether or not political parties are supposed to determine their leaders,
He followed
was
the cue
speaker's-
of Michael Ocquaye.
What was the speaker's
He
ruling?
followed the
It's
cue.
the same thing. So now here we are.
So
here
this
we are.
reflection, did they come last week
Oh.
or a month ago
So
when
you
he had
see-
received the letter to go and deliver the alumni lecture?
What saddens me is that in Ghana, and this is like, we all know this, we preach virtues and practice vices. So you go, you tell us what we want to hear. Then when you go into chamber, you do the opposite. And then you come back and expect us to take you serious.
It's because we have not had principled people in our politics. You see, the principled position is that no matter what happens to me, this is my principle. But these people, the principle starts slightly with adversity small, or threat of adversity, or threat of losing power, or threat of losing money. Immediately they convert to something else. They call it convenience. Some even call it practicality.
But party chairman are
It's-
allowed into the chamber to make sure that
Imagine.
Yeah, my party chairman go into the chamber,
Yeah.
trying to whip them in line and all of that. Look, in the UK, we saw how Boris Johnson's own party members asked him to resign.
Stood on the floor and said, my conscience can no longer let me support you as prime minister. At greater cost to himself, the
Yes.
person, including resigning.
Yeah.
How many of our people can do the same thing?
Look, let me tell you.
Because,
the truth
convenience
is,
politics.
there is a certain reflection between what we are talking about and
Yeah.
this galamsey thing we've been saying, right? That we don't understand. Was it Kufuor who said we understand the cost of everything and the value of nothing, right?
Yeah.
So unfortunately for us, we have a value system in this country where number one at the top of the pyramid of values is money
Yeah.
or financial gain.
Everybody bows to it,
Everything comes under that.
including pastors.
Everything comes under that. And look, so even the fanaticism of partisanship is money. It's actually money.
True. So it's not principle.
No, it's not.
It's not
like
ideology.
someone.
Like I believe that this is
No,
the
no, no,
idea
no,
that
no, no,
should
no,
fix
no,
the
no.
state.
It's not. It's money. You see, and if our as a nation our value system is skewed in this way, we are already doomed. We are already doomed, and you can see the effects. I mean, the symptoms of this in all aspects of our life, particularly in Parliament.
That's true.
I mean, I spent $1 million. What? How many million? 3 million cedis to become a parliamentarian. Then I'm sitting in the back of the room, not talking, but I spent 3 million cedis to get there. Why?
And let me put this on record finally.
Why?
At the time we were swearing this parliament in, I was actually in parliament with Evans Mensah. We took over from you, Kojo. And I said one thing. I said this hung parliament, either it will fight for the development of Ghanaians, or some people in parliament will become very rich, and the government will spend so much money trying to get its policies through. I guess you know what happened.
Yep. All right, let's do the news
Where
review.
the president Ghana never got. You hear first deputy speaker, Joe Seuso
Yes.
admitting that.
And up to now, MPs have read the book.
yes.
And
There's not been an attempt.
nothing has been
Not
done.
even an attempt to say, no, we need further probe. We need to
Because-
review it.
because you see today, that is what happens.
And not even to say that it is not happening.
Even when
You dispute it, let us
even
believe
when-
with that you are disputing
even when
it.
parties had absolute majority.
Yeah.
You know what they used to do in those days? The majority party would have its members leaving the chamber. Then the minority party will raise quorum. Then the majority party will call the Jubilee House or wherever, or the castle, or the Flagstaff House, and say, "Oh, please, the people are angry, or you need to do something right now." The next moment, something comes into the
Imagine.
house, and then they all get back.
I mean,
Anyway.
they are demonstrably corrupt. And when I say this, there's somebody who tell me that I mean, in contempt. No, but I'm sorry. There's demonstration of corruption in Parliament, and it's embarrassing.
Now, the Daily Graphic is reporting this morning. Nana Kwame Bediako starts 276 tall. That's nationwide. 276 number of constituencies we
Constituencies,
have. So perhaps it's going to all constituencies.
He should-
Wow.
he should-
How many in a day? If he's
So
going to complete
there are
this
80
before
days
the-
more to election.
Oh, he can.
Yes,
Yeah,
but
you
what a
can traverse
grueling
him.
schedule that will
But
be.
he should let his.
Comparatively, he's a pretty young man.
He's a young one. He should let his advisor on economics, Hubert Bedu,
Yeah.
do a lot of the talking.
Yes.
He
yes.
makes he
He should
appeals
garner
to
support.
people, better than Nana Kwame Bediako. So he should let the young man Hubert do a lot more of a lot of the talking.
A lot of the independents have decided to really lead with the youth angle, haven't they? We've seen that with the butterfly movement as well, and in their choice of running mate.
All right.
Anyway,
Let's move on to the Daily Graphic. The other story that the way you are going there. Now, the 80 days to general election, MPP NDC battle ready for Madina seat. YEA creates 700,000 jobs in 7 years. That's the CEO speaking here. 700,000 jobs in 7 years. We should find time to.
No, we need to.
Okay, let's just publish the list.
Yeah, publish the list.
Yes, so that they will probe. But we'll not take the Agric Ministries kind of list.
No, because the Agric
Yeah.
Ministries it was estimate.
Yes,
Imaginary
yes.
list. He said
No,
that,
yeah.
if you cultivate this number of hectares, and assumption is that every hectare needs 4. So this times 4, it's 600 and something thousand. And I cultivated about close to 10 hectares. I didn't employ 40 people on
No,
the
I
farm.
get your point. So from that experience, we are begging them. They should just release their list, okay? We can verify on our own. Now, EC won't compromise elections. The chairperson of the Electoral Commission of the Republic of Ghana, Jen Mensah, is the one saying so. But if you want to read Nana Kwame Bediako's 12 pillars, there is a code on the front page of the daily graphic. You can go and scan the code and read the 12 pillars. Why not just put the 12 pillars in there anyway? But there's a code here.
So you can have it on your phone.
Yeah, you can scan the code and go and read the.
Anyway, the new finder this morning, ECG on verge of bankruptcy, poses significant threat to energy sector and the economy. And I'm sure we all know what's happening to the ECG. For instance, in August, they were able to only, the total revenue was 42% of target revenue. And that poses a huge risk to the power sector, because if they are not able to raise significant funds, it means the cash waterfall mechanism, the other players will not be paid. What it means is that the other players will be indebted, and over time, if they are indebted, what will they do? They will threaten you and eventually withdraw their services, which would lead to power cuts, which would lead to a lot of businesses struggling. And you know, if a business struggles,
This is the only sector that they threaten the consumer.
yeah, you know,
The people who are providing internet, they are not threatening the consumer. The people who are every time, in the case of power, they are threatening the consumer.
yeah, but this is my problem, because I have paid.
Yeah.
You say I mean, over the past year, we've seen over 70% increase in
Yes.
tariff. You say I need to pay more. So if I pay more and you do not do your part of the deal,
And everything they
why
are
do I
telling
have
them,
to
oh,
suffer?
you will collapse. So why do I care?
So, you know, the tariffs and the paying of bills and all is only solving half of the problem. You've got your transmission losses on the other side. And who's dealing with those?
Yes, but that's what they should deal with them anyway.
Exactly.
CBG not sold, management assures, and reinvest mining royalties in local community CSOs.